Ganapataye Namaha. In this very important video, I'm going to share some very simple and yet profound concepts about manifestation, including what exactly, from a scientific level and also esoteric, what do we mean when we say manifest? How does it work, and how can you do this in a streamlined process? So I'm going to jump right into it. When we say we want to manifest something, what we're saying is we want to change our information. Our information is the cause, and the reality, that which we perceive through our five senses, is the effect. The information is like software, which reflects as the hardware of our neurology and our biology, and as a result, our psychology and our identity. Our identity here being the sort of culmination of all this information. And finally, this all culminates, this identity produces this reality we experience through the five senses. Now, this information is simply memory. It is the memory that has been hardwired into you from your ancestors, and it is the memory of the conditioning that you have experienced growing up and up until the point of this moment. This is why Dr. Ply and the Siddhas and the Yogic and the mystics talk about this concept, or the importance of your ancestors. That who you are is not just you, but you represent the sum total of your ancestors. So that information or memories from your ancestors, even on a scientific material sciences level, they're saying through epigenetics that you are holding at least 14 generations of information or memories of your ancestors are being stored within your body. In the yogic tradition, we know that the physical body and the biology is simply a reflection or a manifestation of more subtle. When we say spiritual, what we're saying is the quantum reality, or the reality that is beyond the perception of the five senses. So Dr. Ply calls it as soul genetics. They say the yogic system talks about your soul is actually a culmination of your ancestors' souls, which then is the information represented in your biology and neurology. And like this, your information or memory is what is actually behind what you create. Because they say if your ancestors were poor, you are going to be more inclined to create an impoverished reality. And like this, any area of your life, they say your ancestors are behind it. When they mean your ancestors, what they're simply referring to is the memory or information, which we know is the seed or cause of the effect. So to change this information, or manifest as it's often referred to, you need to identify exactly what you want to create, the authentic desire. And then you need to build that memory in advance. So I'm going to break this down. First is identifying what you want to create. This is the authentic outcome. The more authentic, the more emotion will be naturally attached to it. And the more emotion, the more powerful. So in order to find your authentic desire or authentic outcome, you want to probe your goal, what you have set for yourself, or your manifestation goal, to find out what is it helping you produce. So let me give you an example. If your goal is, I want to be a millionaire, well, what does being a millionaire allow you to do? And maybe it's, I want to be a teacher. I'm passionate about teaching. Okay, what does teaching allow you to be able to, what effect does that allow you or enable you to produce? Maybe it's because I want to change the generation of children that are coming up so we can create a new world. And like this, you can go through this process of dismantling these different modalities or mediums that you have put into place through your ignorant conscious mind. When I say ignorant, I mean lacking of all the information. In other words, say, in this very simple exercise, we identify what you actually want to do is change the next generation of children so the world can be a better place for everyone now and in the future. You have placed in for that, I need to be a teacher and I need to have money. This goal, on the other hand, of I want to help facilitate the children changing and so they can change the world, this is what you're going to have the most emotion behind, because this is what you actually want to achieve. So going through this process of distillation of your goal is very, very important, because now you can connect emotion with this money and teaching. Maybe you don't have an emotion to make that money. Maybe you don't have an emotion to be a teacher, but you certainly have emotion to produce the effect that all of this that you've put in place allows you to achieve. That's number one. Now the second one is how you can create this memory in advance. So the memory that we want to create now is that you have helped the certain children or amount of children, whatever it is. Say it's you've helped the generation of children to realize how to wield their mind. So to create that memory in advance, the first step is you want to orient that after distilling it down into the most precise way. You want to orient the syntax into present tense. Rather than saying, I want to help the children so that we can change the world. Let's use a very simple example. I have helped the children in this certain way. Maybe as I've helped the children learn how to wield their mind to create a better world. You can probably do a better job of just giving this as an example. And by putting in that orientation as a present tense, what you're doing is you're building the information and therefore the biology, which is the hardware, that this is the reality, and you're changing the memory. And by changing that information and by putting it in the present tense as if it's already happened is a very fast and precise way to materialize that circumstance right away, as quickly as possible. So you want to take your outcome, you want to hyper focus on that outcome, that authentic outcome, and you want to put it in the present tense. And in doing so, you also want to put the emotion behind it. You want to feel not just intellectually that it's already happened, but you also want to bring the emotion that has already happened, which is the joy, the gratitude, the satisfaction. And this emotion, what we're calling emotion on a very practical level, on a physical level, is actually chemical. We experience emotions, although they are energy, but we experience or process them through the biology, which is the body, as a chemical. And these chemicals are what is upregulating and downregulating your genetic expression, meaning it is what is changing the information at the biological level. So thinking changes at the neurological level, and the emotion or chemical changes it at the biological level. And in doing these two, you are then changing your identity, which is in quantum physics, the observer. The observer is your identity, and your identity is the culmination of information that you are representing through an identity. And the observer is the observed. The observer is the information, identity. The observed is the reality. So, electric thought, magnetic emotion. This is also changing the quantum field. So this is Joe Dispenza's teachings and research. When you put out a thought, it's an electric thought, and the emotion is the magnetic, so electromagnetic. So that's why you need the emotion. The electric is just putting it out. You are essentially, it's the masculine and feminine. So masculine is all about willpower, and the woman is all about translating energy into matter, the energy of the will, or the cause, into materialization. Electric thought, magnetic emotion brings that reality to you. And also in the physical level, you have the electric thought, which is up here, and the motion of the chemical expression, changing your genetic expression. I could take this further, but this is the baseline that you want to do. And then from this, you can use meditation, mantras, and rituals to amplify this memory or this new information that you want to, or new software, if you will, that you want to install. But it's very important that you have this foundation set before it'll make your mantra, your meditation practices, your rituals, if you do those, that much more powerful, because now you are exactly precise on what you are trying to amplify. I hope this video helps bring some clarity and shed some light on this topic. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them underneath this video. And as always, if you'd like to be notified for future videos, make sure to click subscribe and bell notification. God bless.